What's up, deckheads? Welcome back to MTG with me. It's the Gainswalker. First, I want to start by saying thank you to all the viewers. I really do appreciate the support. This is a game that I really like to play, and this is the 100th video that I've already put out. It's kind of amazing to say. I can't believe it's been 100 already, but I want to bring you a new segment. This is going to be a news segment, and I'm going to bring to you stuff that I've been reading about in articles from various different websites talking about the game, updates, and all that good stuff. First item up for discussion is one that I really hope that they don't follow through with. This is a topic about Planeswalkers, and it looks like from one of these articles here that they may reduce them to one a set. You gotta be kidding me. That is such a bad idea. I mean, even if you do reduce it to one a set, there are so many, like, it ruins so many deck ideas. As far as making money as a company, wouldn't you want to have at least one per color each set, or at least 3 out of those 5, so that people are, interested in looking at the next set, and, their favorite combinations? Is there a Planeswalker that they're going to be able to use? For me, that doesn't make sense. But according to this article here, and this is on Dextero, Planeswalker has been a key part of Magic history since the beginning. And at MagicCon Barcelona, and this was July 28th, Mark and Gavin discussed the R&D philosophy for Planeswalkers going forward. And Mark confirms the general intent is that that it is one Planeswalker per set. Mark Rosewater, lead developer of MTG, and Gavin Verhey, a senior designer, have confirmed that Planeswalkers will become much less common than previous sets. In previews for Wilds of Eldraine and the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, we only see Ashiok returning with the Planeswalker powers. Hatali, Rowan, and Will are all desparked and now legendary creatures. Now, I know the storyline with the lore, the big fight that just happened against Phyrexia, and a lot of Planeswalkers are just out of it. Desparked. They're not doing their thing. So that I get, but that doesn't mean you can't introduce new Planeswalkers. That's one of the things that I think most people are looking forward to when a new set is released. The next thing I wanted to talk about was Commander Masters. This looks like, from what I'm reading, a lot of people don't really like this set. I don't know, if you're in that boat. If you don't like the set, let me know. I thought there were some pretty cool cards in that set, and I talked about that in one of the tier lists that I just put out. Couple things. I'm not very big into Commander. I'm gonna start getting bigger into that and really learning how all that works. It says here that when you draft a Commander, if it's got partner and it's a legendary, you can have 2 of them. For me, I'm not sure if they just mean this specific card, but or the fact that they're drafting, because I think they're talking about just drafting. Because when you draft cards, you can have more than 4 of the same card in your deck. So I think this is just specific to drafting. Maybe you know better than I do on this one, but I again, not very big into Commander. That could go either way on that one. Another card that they mentioned in the rule changes was Teferi, Acosta of Zalfir. This is pretty confusing to me, so bear with me on this one. It says, on the card, it says, tap X creatures you control. When you do, shuffle target non-land permanent an opponent controls with mana value X or less into its owner's library. So that statement is pretty strong, right? It gives you blue-white knights with vigilance. I think they're 2/2s. But let's say they didn't have vigilance, and I swung with 5 creatures. After I swing with them, this is saying tap X creatures you control. I have the creatures, they're already tapped. That's fine. I will tap, they stay tapped. Right? Kind of like Hollowblade, where it says tap this creature, discard a card, it gets indestructible. I could already swing with it and then tap it, because it's not part of the activated ability's cost. So I think that's what they're getting at here, but it's pretty confusing. If you look at it, it says old text. Tap X untap creatures you control. That's not what it says. It says tap X creatures you control. So that doesn't make sense to me. But then it says the new text is tap any number of untapped creatures you control. When you do, shuffle target non-land permanent, and the rest is the same. So I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to say with this rule change here. But if it says tap X creatures you control, that's disgusting. If it says tap X untapped creatures control, or tap any number of untapped creatures you control, that's a lot more reasonable as far as the card goes. So your guess is as good as mine with this information right here. It looks like it's saying 3 different things, but okay. Another card is Triumph of St. Catherine. The old text says, when it dies, exile in the top 6 cards, and do all that. The new text says, when Triumph of St. Catherine is put into your graveyard from the battlefield. So I think the rule change here is not a very big one. And I wanted to branch from these rule adjustments. I know it's got a few more, but this is one of those ones from Universes Beyond. Basically, if you don't know what this is, it's kind of where all these unique sets are coming from. They're basically unique IPs. Alright, so here on MTG Wiki, we've got, you're getting all these different, like the next one is Doctor Who. You're getting all these different themes of sets. The one that we're in right now, Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth. A lot of people are familiar with that, especially if you've been watching the videos. And I wanted to ask, what do you think about these? This is widely mixed reviews. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people like it. I think it's cool because it's drawing more people to the game. You're getting people that may have otherwise not started to experience MTG to kind of have a way to be like, well, I really like Doctor Who, maybe I'll try MTG with me. I don't know hardly anything about Doctor Who, and that gives me as an MTG player an ability to learn about that. So I think that that's a good back and forth, kind of growing the audience and getting people involved. Well, what do you think? And also, big Final Fantasy fan. So I'm happy to see that it looks like Final Fantasy is the next one in 2024. And they're doing Assassin's Creed after that, at least from what MTG Wiki is saying. So that's pretty cool. That's exciting. I have some friends that like Warhammer. They're really big into 40k. Transformers. I saw some of those cards. Those are cool. That'd be awesome if they kind of like, did like the 80s version one. I want to see a Hot Rod card. Give me a Hot Rod card. Why, like, And lastly, I wanted to talk about Wilds of Eldraine. This is the next set that's coming out. Some pretty cool looking cards here. They're bringing back the adventure style cards, which are amazing. Love that. You basically play the card at the left side text right here. Let me just pull this one up for you. So you play the card for its adventure cost. Then it goes into an exiled zone. And you can play it for its normal CMC cost. So it's just a great way to increase the number of non-creature spells while still holding a bare minimum of creature spells in your deck. So big fan. Big fan. Let's see. Cool artwork for the lands. And I just noticed today that there's something called Enchanted Tales. They've got... I've seen some of these. Some of these are just old ones that... Actually, they might all be old ones. But a lot of these are really cool. Doubling Season, very popular. I know as far as Smothering Tith, that one's pretty popular. Curiosity was always a good one. So, really loving the alternate artworks. And that's another thing. Some people... I was talking to a gentleman at one of the pre-release events, and he was telling me how he is starting to really not like MTG because of all the artworks, saying that it's devaluing each card. And while there may be more prints of a card, and I get, the more prints you have, the less expensive they'll get generally. But I think it's cool. I like the alternate artwork. It gives you a way to kind of stylize your deck, aside from it being foil or not foil. So I think that that's really cool. And that's going to do it for this episode of MTG with Me News. Hopefully that's some information you can use. And as always, until next time, deckheads, keep it easy.